Hello. I wasn't planning to do another haul for a good while, but these literally came today. I got these. These are just DVDs. I got them from Music Magpie, and it's two standalone DVDs. One of them is a box set, and this box set is pretty much the Holy Grail. I finally got my Holy Grail. I've been looking for this set for all these films, rather for ages. Or these cuts of the films for ages. So, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So this one will probably be quite short, but since obviously I'm not going to be going to HMV for a while until this coronavirus subsides, which it probably will, because we've pretty much already reached our peak by this point. So, but yes, I will get started. So the first DVD is Austin Powers, the International Man of Mystery. This was the first Austin Powers film and the only Austin Powers film I've actually seen. Last time I showed the sequels, but now I've got the original. I think the original is now out of print because the only way you could get it was from Music Magpie used. Yes, so inside we get the chapter listing and some extras. From what I've heard of Music Magpie, from what I've seen in Music Magpie, there's two versions. This is the original, released by Pathé or 20th Century Fox, and there was another one which was released by Optimum. This is the original release. I don't know if there's anything different, like you get new special features or anything. I doubt it with the new version. Yeah, and the next DVD is one which I've been looking for a while, and that is, and this kind of completes my sort of Tarantino collection, you know, because I'm trying to get as much Tarantino stuff as possible. I've got all the stuff he directed, but I'm also trying to get stuff which he had some involvement in. This is the final one of that, and that is Killing Zoe, or Killing Zoe, from the director of Kill Bill, Quentin Tarantino. I'm not sure whether or not that's referring to the, you know, him. I'm not sure whether or not that's making up the fact that he directed it, which he didn't direct this, by the way. He didn't direct this, he didn't write this. This was written and directed by Roger Avery, who helped Tarantino. He was one of Tarantino's earliest collaborators. You know, he helped on Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, True Romance. This one has Eric Stoltz in it. This is the original DVD release of this by Universal. There is a Blu-ray out of this in this country. There's a Blu-ray and a DVD equivalent released by the company Fabulous Films, which, if you don't know what Fabulous Films are, it's essentially Arrow if Arrow have even less of a budget and give less of a crap. So the Arrow, from what I understand from like screenshots I've seen, the Fabulous Blu-ray, the transfer looks bloody awful. Genuinely, just go to Blu-ray.com and look up the Fabulous release on this on Blu-ray, and you'll see just how utterly crap the transfer looks. It probably doesn't look any better in motion. So then this one has an infinitely better transfer, because I think this one was done by a major Hollywood studio, whereas Fabulous is kind of a budget label. And anyway, this one has on it the theatrical trailer and cast and crew interviews. And here's the disc. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I've got, and there is also Fabulous release on DVD as well, but where the hell's that noise coming from? Never mind. When there is a Fabulous release of this on DVD which has a white cover, but I can't really imagine, but I reckon it's probably the same transfer as on the Blu-ray. So, I mean, even on DVD that transfer would look pretty crap. So I got this instead. Yeah, so if you want like a better version of this in the UK, go for this version. There is a French Blu-ray out, which from what I understand has not only an infinitely better picture than the UK Blu-ray, but it also has the director's cut, because I know this version is quite heavily cut by the MPAA to get an R rating. This is the R-rated cut. There is an unrated version, but the only way you can get the unrated version is in France for some reason. I don't know why. I'm gonna keep hold of this, of course, but maybe if they do eventually release the director's cut, maybe then I'll get it or replace it. And so now we're on to the final item, which is the box set. And this box set is, I didn't even know this box set kind of existed, but it's it was my holy grail. I've been looking for this set for a while. I've seen all the films like multiple times prior, but I didn't want the versions that were currently available. And that is the Star Wars trilogy. This one has in it the original trilogy, which is New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. This is the holy grail because, if you know me, I don't want I don't want the special editions. I don't want the looked around with versions. I want to have the original versions in my collection. They were released on DVD in what I refer to as the Gout editions, which from what I've seen, because I've seen the Gout editions because my granddad has them, so that was the way I was able to see Star Wars for so long. But the transfers were really rough because they came from a 1990s Laserdisc version, and they're non-anamorphic, and you get really bad motion smearing. But it's the only one of the only official ways you can get the unaltered version in, well, better quality than VHS. But anyway, this one has the unaltered versions in it. Oddly enough, the price has really gone down on this item because it originally cost like an arm and a leg, like well over 20 quid for this box set, and the Gout editions on DVD used to be really sought after. Now they're kind of slightly less sought after, which is a bit odd because I think it's once they finally released them all on 4K and it turns out, oh shit, they've been mucked around with yet again. They, for some reason, on this box set, the price has really gone down. Now it's like you can get it for like 8 quid or something. There's also a prequel trilogy version of this which comes in red packaging, which are kind of now on the same playing field in terms of like value and so on and how many copies you can find. But formerly the prequel set was incredibly easy to find, probably because the fact that the original prequels DVDs aren't, they were mass produced, there were more copies out there, and the fact that it's the prequels and nobody likes the prequels. Anyway, I got this. This is in pretty good, nice condition. It's a little bit scuffed up, but what are you gonna do? And I've checked these discs and I've checked all the discs, and they all work fine. I've not had any problems with them, which is always fantastic. And as you know, I've got the original Star Wars on VHS and The Empire Strikes Back on VHS, but they're both irredeemably fucked. They don't work at all. And the version of Empire I've got is in pan and scan. This is in the original widescreen aspect ratio. And I've also got, with this, which I'm keeping up here, the original backing card. So yeah, this is the 6-disc set now. At one point I didn't even know they released the unaltered versions in a box set. I thought you could only get the unaltered versions on their own, or as 2-disc sets, but still on their own. So, but it wasn't until slightly later on where they did release them in a box set. If you want the unaltered versions, go for this box set, or you can just buy them on their own. But it's slightly more expensive if you buy them on their own. So we have A New Hope. As you can see right there, it's got both these have got both the 2004 cuts on them and the original theatrical releases. And these come in sort of like thin cases, and when you used to buy them on their own, when you buy them on their own, they come in like normal DVD cases, and they actually have like a little like leaflet inside, advertising crap. So for this one's just kind of, you just get the discs, which is okay. So here's the 2004 cut. Here's the bonus disc with the original theatrical cut on it, also known as the Gout edition. If you've got, there are like despecialized editions out there, which are only recommended if you actually have the Blu-ray set, which I don't have the Blu-ray set because I don't want the Blu-ray set. Because I mean, why the hell would I go ahead and waste like 60 odd quid on a Blu-ray which I'm probably never going to watch? Why would I do that? It's kind of ridiculous, just for the sake of, you know, like supporting the company and getting, so I can basically go online and download the unaltered versions. So yeah, I mean, if you got the Blu-ray set, I would recommend the despecialized editions, which are sort of like fan reconstructions of the originals. Empire Strikes Back. This is the best Star Wars film in my opinion. I think a lot of people will probably agree with me, but some won't. So you can see on there we've got the 2004 cut and the original theatrical cut, and this one had the least alterations made to it, because I think they made like some mild alterations, like they replaced Boba Fett's voice. They also replaced the Emperor with, what's his face, Ian McDermott in this version. Because I think New Hope had the worst changes, and so did Return of the Jedi. Anyway, here's Empire Strikes Back. That's the 2004 cut, and that's the bonus disc with the theatrical cut. And then Return of the Jedi. So here's the 2004 cut, and here's the original cut. Interestingly enough, Lucas was kind of known as the Master Tinkerer because he has famously been editing Star Wars ever since its original release. Because I know when the original Star Wars got a wide release, I think he like repaired some of the visual effects. When it was re-released, when Empire Strikes Back came out, they changed the opening crawl to say Episode 4 A New Hope, because in the original crawl it just said Star Wars. And interestingly enough, on this version, even though it's from the 1990s Laserdisc master, which has the Episode 4 A New Hope crawl on it, they used a film print for the crawl and of the original crawl, so this is one of the only official home video versions to have the original crawl, because with all the previous versions before the special editions, the only version you could get was the one which had the A New Hope crawl, which, you know, I wouldn't have minded. You know, it's just a crawl, so yeah. And there was obviously changes with this, you know, from the 35mm to the 70mm prints. In fact, I think Lucas might have used the 70mm print when he was doing the special edition of this, because he changed Luke, because in the special edition Luke's line was changed from "You're lucky you don't taste very good" to "You're lucky to get out of there." But on the 70mm print they changed it to "You're lucky to get out of there." But on the special editions you just say "You're lucky to get out of there." Anyway, that's enough rambling about Star Wars changes. Anyway, that's it for the moment. Until next time, goodbye.